Alright, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back. Another video. Figured I'd do something just to upload. So today we're going to be talking about why I think the Miata, and there's a couple others I'll toss in here too at some point. The Miata is one of the best platforms for essentially building a cart out of. And I don't know, we'll just go through a couple different reasons behind this and a little bit of other rambling too. So let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so as most of us all know, cars prices are going way up, and yeah, it sucks. Alright, same thing with Miatas are fucking way up there in cost. And I mean, you can't, well, I'm sure it depends on where you live too, but down here in Illinois, you're gonna find a bucket for like 3,500 bucks. Do you really want to spend $3,500 on a car that's a bucket and then just turn around and cut it up? No. So you're really gonna have to look for a good deal. One thing I do want to add is when I started this channel, I did make a video on, is it worth it? It's kind of, this video is kind of shooting that whole video down, so let's just keep that in mind. But yeah, anyways, Miata prices through the roof, 240 prices through the roof, BMW prices through the roof. I don't want to work on those things anyways. No thanks, no offense. Yeah, so you're really hard pressed to find a good deal on a car that would be worth cutting up. The car that I bought as a full Miata, I bought it for 600 bucks, not running, manual, 1.6 short nose. Sold everything off it and I made my money back before I even started building the cart itself. I got lucky. Is now the time to probably build a cart? I would say no. That, I don't want to say the word, that China thing kind of has everything screwed up, as well as drift tax. We all know drift tax is a thing, unless you don't know, in which case you're probably new to drift cars. Yeah, this is gonna feel wrong. Yeah, you're good. I've literally been barely even working on it for like an hour, and she's already fucking got me good. Oh yeah, new paint job. Fucking dirty bitch. The fuck, man. Ah! Alright, so I don't like that right off the bat. Alright, so why, if you did find a cheap Miata and you were lucky enough, what are some reasons that it would be best to build a cart out of? Well, I guess I would start off by saying the amount of information on the internet. There's a lot of people that have used this car as a donor for a cart build, so there is plenty of pictures to reference. There's plenty of people you're going to ask on, you know, where do I cut? What should I cut? What should I not cut? Structural wise, what do I need to keep? You know, other ignorant questions like, should I keep the windshield or could I not? Well, it's up to you. What do you want? You know, what? Look at some pictures. See what you like. See what you don't like. I like windshield. I like how it looks. I think it makes it look all nice and kind of slimline. Just me personal. All right. Situations like welding diffs. If you never had a welded diff before, you're probably going to be asking people because you're probably going to want a welded diff. No, gonna completely, just to answer that for you, if you don't know, it's going to completely destroy how the car backs up, turns in tight spots when you don't want it to go sideways. It's gonna just ruin that. It's gonna be like a skid loader essentially, and I'm saying for a cart because the ass end doesn't weigh maybe 400 or 500 pounds. I'm looking at mine right now, but yeah, no, you go to back up in grass and even just turn a little bit and the grass just has a little bit of wetness in it, you're not going anywhere very fast or at all. Yeah, it's something to get used to. I'm not saying don't do it. It's fucking awesome, but yeah, you're definitely gonna be like, what the fuck, for probably the first week or two until you get used to it. The Miata is probably, and I'm not, don't quote me on this because this is not like a fact, all right, but it is also a fact at the same time. The Miata has a huge fucking aftermarket, how would I word that, aftermarket scene, I guess. I mean, you can find everything from angle kits to fucking coilovers, wheels, fucking, if you wanted to go diff that's not welded, you can get it. If you, anything motor wise, any ECUs, fucking, the list goes on and on and on. Everything you could possibly want, they sell it for Miatas, and it's usually fairly priced. Obviously there are certain brands that are going to cost a lot more, but if you're building a death cart, hopefully you get the car super cheap, so then that won't hurt you as much. But if you're building a death cart on a budget like me, there's plenty of brands out there that can sell you those aftermarket parts at a little bit cheaper rate. You do get what you pay for. Keep that in mind. There's certain things you don't want to cheap out on. Hydraulic e-brakes. Well, it's really the only thing I'm buying from mine besides a roll cage. Yeah, I ain't really doing much aftermarket to mine. I am gonna do an angle kit. You can do angle kits pretty cheap. Get a little bit more steering angle. I mean, just buy a set of already cut knuckles, tie rods, fucking braided lines. You can do a cheap angle kit. Fuck, you can get that for under $500. You'd be ready to rock. Weld the diff, that's free essentially if you got a welder. There's a big ass praying mantis in here. That's badass. Give me a second. Alright, so coilovers are one thing you definitely don't want to cheap out on. I already knew they were gonna ride like ass. I've had cheap coilovers before. I just bought them because when I got the car, of course, like always, the left or right rear fucking stock strut is always got a cracked spring, so I just bought some cheapies just so it wouldn't be sitting all funky. Luna, get over here. But no, hopefully eventually I can change them out, put something a little bit better on. I know it's gonna ride like complete dog ass, like it's gonna be terrible, but whatever, for now it'll work. Forgot what I was gonna say. Fuck. Alright, so back on topic. A lot of your stuff that you're gonna be probably starting out with, once you get your car cut, caged, you're probably not gonna be worried too much about boosting and all that shit. I'm not, so it's kind of why this video's not super in depth. Because I don't plan on getting that crazy with it. When this motor goes, it's getting a whole different, probably getting a whole different drivetrain. Till then, we're not going to worry about any of that. So you're going to be looking at things like mirrors, they sell all kinds of different mirrors that you can get for these. But if you're doing a cart, you're probably going to be looking more into, you know, motorcycle mirrors, you know, just random mirrors on eBay, essentially. You know, for you don't want it to be all big and shit. So, or at least me, I want like little itty bitty round ones. A lot of the stuff you're gonna be, what I'm trying to get at is a lot of stuff you're gonna be looking at once you get it all carted out and shit. Is, you know, trailer stuff like tail lights, for example, turn signals, stuff. So that's not even Miata stuff. So right there, you're gonna be cheap as fuck. You're gonna be able to pick up tail lights, turn signals, fucking trailer light controller, which I got a video on doing that. Mirrors. Your bumpers are, unless you're fabbing up your own, there's fucking a multitude of different companies that make sick ass bash bars, and True Focus Fab, super cool guy. Talk to him, he's actually willing to work with me, so he's probably willing to work with you on that, which here in a bit I probably will show you my bumper arrangement that I'm going to go for. I think I might have put it in a video before, but we'll throw it in this video just because. Alright, and then one thing I wanted to add that I should add in that is, by work with me, I met old boy at True Focus. I told him that I was building a cart, and obviously they don't just have fucking death carts on hand, so he probably doesn't know exactly what I'm wanting. So I just essentially told him I would like the S13 style bumper. If he can make it to where it bolts up to a Miata, that'd be sick. It doesn't have to be super sucked in to fit under a bumper plastic, because obviously I'm not going to run a bumper plastic. And then for the back bumper, I just told him I wanted the Miata bumper, or bash bar, sorry. And I told him I don't really need the two tubes essentially that come off of the bumper that go to the plates to bolt up to the stock Miata. Don't worry about welding any of that to the physical bumper. Just weld up the physical bumper for me, and then just send me the pieces of tubing and the mounts necessary, which I'm probably not going to end up using, and I'll show you why real quick. Okay, so here's my rear end as it sits. I obviously don't really have anywhere to mount a bumper. I could go, come on, focus. I could go there on both sides with my bars coming out, but then the bumper would be a little high, and I don't really like that. And if I remember correctly when I was cutting this, I think these stock mounts are somewhere right in there. Don't quote me, I don't remember, it's been too long. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go off the subframe, because let's be honest here, if this thing gets wrecked, it's getting fucked up anyways, whether it's where I normally would have put them, like a lot of guys, or if I put it on there. Either way, it's gonna get fucked up. That's okay. Plus, I feel like if I fuck up the subframe, at least I can replace the subframe. There's 6 bolts holding each, or 3 on each side. I don't really see the subframe messing up too much there. Cross my fingers. Might eat my own words, I don't know. If I mount it there and mount it there, it'll also sit a little lower, which I think would be sick. And it won't be in the way of my taillights. Catch my drift? Catch my drift. If you don't, I don't know what to tell you. Plus, I don't know, I think that'd just be sick as fuck, honestly. Plus, I want to weld a hitch. A small, like one of those small, I don't know what size that is, like the small style, like what you'd see on like a minivan or something. I wouldn't mind welding one of those on the back, because yes, I do have something planned for the future. Yeah, we'll get into that at another time. I might even mentioned it or hinted at it before, but yeah, I think that'd go together pretty good. Another thing, dude, these fucking flies are insane. Another thing too, you're gonna want rear fenders. Good old trailer fenders. Aren't you fucking glad they make those? You can pick them up cheap, especially on the internet, eBay. I'm going to do probably half fenders on mine, and I'm actually thinking about welding them good old Bombardier four-wheeler style. Weld them straight to the upper control arm, and I'll show you why. So if you go off that upper control arm, then you can maintain your fitment that you want, and you'll always have fitment no matter what the suspension's doing. If I do what I was originally gonna do, I would weld it somewhere in here, like a lot of guys do, which looks sick. But then I gotta worry about suspension compressing into it or not having any sort of fitment at all, and carts really aren't meant to have fitment. I understand that, but I think it would be a little bit different, and I just think it looks sick. I mean, come on now, the fender's gonna move with the suspension, so there should be no rubbing whatsoever if I do it right. That's just kind of food for thought for any of you that are either working on your cart right now or plan on building one. So yeah. Now, another reason that Miatas are a great platform for this is, I mean, come on now, look at it. Everybody and their mom that track days probably has a Civic or a fucking Miata or a Corvette or, you know, obviously BMWs. Miatas are tried and true, and they put themselves in a spot. I think they're kind of a little ugly, but no, I love Miatas. I'm just talking a little bit of shit. Miatas obviously have their place, or people wouldn't flock to that platform to do that road racing stuff. And come on now, everybody and their mom's also got one that they drift, so why wouldn't you? You know, if you can pick one up cheap, and it's probably the cheaper of some of the cars that I've just mentioned. I mean, well, Civics are about the same price, but I don't really want nothing to do with front-wheel drive, even though I've had a couple Civics. Yeah, Miata would be the way to go, really. And honestly, they're just fun cars. I mean, whether they're cut up or stock or just a normal Miata, you know, all raced out, yeah, they're cool cars. They're respectable and they're fun. So, yeah. And because my videos are always all over the place, I know I'm terrible at this. Forgot to mention too, when I was talking about all the aftermarket parts, so many different exhaust setups you can go with. It's actually fucking crazy. I think I've seen more aftermarket exhaust setups for Miatas than I have Civics. Like, it's pretty fucking serious. It's crazy as fuck. I need to go on for mine because running it straight off the downpipe. Alright, so other cars that people love to use as donors for carts. These are just ones that I've seen. There might be others out there, I don't know. I've seen one guy. I haven't seen a bunch of these. I've only seen one. I think it was I'm not super big on Audi, like as far as knowing a lot about them, but I think it was an A4 all-wheel drive cart. Why not? I mean, junkyards are full of them, so if you need parts, go get it. Corvettes, I can get down with that. LS, super plentiful. You can find them in the junkyards a lot easier than you can find a Miata in the junkyard, I will say that. Civics, like, there's a couple different Hondas I've seen. Front-wheel drive, not really my thing, but there's a shitload of parts available for, like, literally all of them. It's kind of a no-brainer. BMW, of course, BMW has multiple different series that are all rear-wheel drive, manual, and yeah, I mean, chances are you'll be able to find parts in the junkyard as well, which is always good. Don't see why you wouldn't. They're a little, you know, some of the four-door ones I've seen are kind of, I don't know. When I think of cart, I think of two-seater. Yeah, I don't know. It's my preference. You might like it. I've seen some 240 carts. I'd feel terrible cutting one up. People do it. And if you know anything about the 240 market, you're going to be in the 240 market still. And parts are kind of pricey. And yeah. A86s, I've seen some people do those. I wouldn't. Just because, I mean, it's kind of a monumental car. Probably piss a lot of people off. Yeah, and I'm sure the parts are horrendous to find. Yeah, I don't know. As far as that's about the most I've seen. I haven't seen anything other than really what I've mentioned. But, next clip. Overall, I would say your best bet if you're trying to build a cart, one of these guys right here. Whether it's an NA or an MB, you can pick them up cheap, and they're super easy to cut. You're going to go through a lot of Sawzall blades, cut-off wheels, grinding wheels, etc., etc. But somewhat end result, you'll be sitting somewhere around there. And you won't be, hopefully, completely destroying your wallet. Which it's still going to hit you in the wallet. Alright, just forewarning, alright? Trust me, take it from me. That being said, guys, this video is getting a little bit longer than I would have liked. I'm going to go ahead and leave you off with this little montage thing I did. It wouldn't let me put a Bone song. I wanted a Bone song on here. I don't know what the hell the deal was, but yeah. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't, please. It really helps. Appreciate it. Catch you on the next one. Peace.
Look at my face when I fuck on your waist, cause we only have one conversation a week. That's why your friends always hating on me. Fuck them, no, I did this all by myself. Matter of fact, I ain't never asked no one for help, and that's why I don't pick up my phone when it rings. None of my exes is over.